Hello from the Tasman Peninsula.
How good's that view?
This morning we've driven down from Hobart and we decided we'd hit up some nature right from the outset. So we've come to the Tasman Arch, and oh boy is it a good arch.
We can even walk across it. I'm a little scared, but I think we'll do it.
I think we'll probably survive it. I'm feeling good about it.
You think it's held up in the past, or did they have to stick it back up like that?
There are actually a few little things that you could do in this area. So we're starting with the arch and then we might move on to one or two of the others. We're going to make our way down towards Port Arthur and to the bottom of the peninsula. Port Arthur is obviously very famous for a historic jail from early settler kind of times, and also for a massacre, Australia's last major massacre before gun laws were brought in, and now we've only had 3 more since 1996 when that happened. So some pretty heavy history down in these parts. I don't think we'll actually go to the jail today. They have a clause against filming for commercial purposes, and that's a bit of a grey area for us. But there is plenty of nature and other things to be enjoyed in this area, so we're going to take you around. So, now that you're on the bridge, is it as sketchy as you feared?
Well, luckily you can't tell you're on the bridge, so I think we're going to survive this one. Wow, wowee. Look how big these cliffs are, and they go straight up into mountains. Yeah, the water's definitely worn a lot away. It must have been so much further out millions of years ago, and it's just washed away. So the Devil's Kitchen is somewhere not far from here. It's possibly just in that next gap. We'll go there next. It'll be fantastic.
Even though it's not super obvious that you're actually walking on the arch, it's still a good idea to come out here so you can see this view. Look at the little islands poking out over there. Oh, very pretty. The trees got wrinkles.
This is everything it's cracked up to be by me. Look at that! Oh, you can see the devil working, making his baked beans.
Charlie thinks he's more likely to be making seafood dishes than baked beans.
Oh. Hey, that makes sense.
It does, yeah. This is the Devil's Kitchen, which is why Jesse was talking about the devil making baked beans. It's not particularly well signposted that it's here from Tasman Arch, but you've just got to keep walking off a little bit further down the blocked off road to find it.
Yeah, they've closed the car park down near the Devil's Kitchen, but the signs don't even point down to here anymore, so lucky we knew about it, because it is a prize winner.
It feels so much taller from around this side than around the other side.
Yeah, definitely walk around to the lookout, all of the 5-minute return walk. It'll do you some good, and it's got amazing views.
You can actually see back up into the kitchen.
Yeah, the water's making its way under Tasmania. I wonder how far it's got.
And a little bit further along in the same kind of area is the blowhole, which I feel like it may be a little more impressive when the tide is a bit higher, but
In a few hours.
but it's still pretty cool. There's also a bathroom nearby if you needed to go. Fun fact for all the most likely ladies out there, because men never seem to need to go. There is a little lookout here as well, out to the ocean, so definitely just hike up that trailer a couple seconds and have a look there too.
Port Arthur. Historic site.
There are worse views from jail.
We have arrived. We've come to the bottom of the Tasman Peninsula, where there is the remarkable cave and an amazing shoreline, and I think we can see out to Cape Raoul, which looks like an Icelandic cathedral, as you can see the different pillars coming off. And, you know, we would walk there, but it's a 4-hour round trip from somewhere.
Or more.
Or more. Well, with you guys it could be more. Yeah, so we won't be doing that, but at least we can see it from here. We didn't expect to see it from here, so yeah, that's really cool. And the cliff face and the, and there's sheer cliffs over here. There's a lot of nature in Tasmania.
Wow, this is even better than I expected. The sounds that it makes as it comes in and out are just so cool. And surrounded by rocks. I don't think you're meant to go down there like Jesse is. I've heard at low tide you can actually come in from the outside and walk through the cave, and then there's an emergency ladder to get back up here onto the platform. Right now, obviously, would not recommend coming through the cave. Do not do that. Wow, I could sit here for hours and watch this. It's so cool.
They're up there on the landing, and I've come down with the rock.
Oh my god.
Hey, here comes a wave-ish. I like the redness of where the water is. It's red. So the opening at the end happens to look like the shape of Tasmania.
How did you get back up that ladder? Like, you would need some serious upper body strength. It's a long way from the ground to the start of the ladder. Really, don't do it unless you think you can get back up. Gosh, I still hate stairs. My legs have never been in shape.
Really, don't do it unless you think you can get back up.
They're all single malt, they're all unpeated. This here, and they're all double oak Sequoia. So this one here is bourbon finishing the port. You get your fruitcake, Christmas cake, peachy apple.
So we've come to McHenry Distillery, but first things first, how awesome is the country down this way? I would come here even if there was no whiskey, but whiskey sealed the deal to come up the 2-kilometre dirt road in our little 2-wheel drive car. It was a bit wet, but Dana kept me going. She said we'd make it, so I believed her. Oh, yeah, punch in the face with some delicious flavour. What was this? The Gemma, number 4 of 5 of special edition releases. Lemons, sugary lemons, oranges and pineapples. Just delicious whiskey, really. Let's see if it's more than just the nose. They said their copper stills here make whiskey sweeter than normal, and yeah, it is very sweet. Brings out the flavour even more. So McHenry Distillery is the only distillery in Australia, apparently, that has their own spring water on site, which they use to make the whiskey. Second one along. This is their standard single malt, I think. Bourbon barrel, finished in Tokay barrels. And Tokay is known for a banana-ish flavour, and I can smell that straight away. Oh, it's like banana lollies. Oh, that's really good. I find Tassie whiskies so far have had a similar kind of profile. And this is another delicious one. And finally, we have their aged in oak only. So this one's another cask strength one. The centre one was a cask strength too. You can buy them as standard strength where they add water to water it down to maybe somewhere around 46%. But this one will be somewhere around 55, maybe 58, maybe even stronger. Oh, this one's more about the wood. Oh yeah, yep. A lot of that oaky wood sharpness. I love it. But it doesn't have the kind of sweet bananas of the middle one. Oh, it's good. It's good stuff though. What a good find. All right, what'd you get?
I got a gin tasting. We thought we'd get one of each and share them around a bit. So I've got a Federation gin here. This one's got botanicals from every state of Australia, foraged by Indigenous people. Wow, that's really refreshing. It's got like lemony, myrtle-y vibes in there and all sorts of other things too. I like that. It's kind of light and palate cleansing.
Yum.
We've got a slow gin. It smells like berries, but like rich plummy berries. Oh wow, that is so good. I don't think I've ever had a slow gin maybe. It's sweet, it's like berry plummy, like you could smell. Oh. This one actually won second best slow gin in the world and best gin in Australia, and I can see why. And then the Damson is meant to be kind of a similar idea to the slow, but even sweeter, so.
The Ted Damson?
It is good, maybe a little bit sweeter, but I think the slow gin's still the hero. If you come here, definitely try the slow gin.
Enjoying yourselves, are ya?
Yeah, it's just I am. Although your cast strength whiskey kind of punched me in the face a little bit. I'll admit.
Oh, you've caught me with my if they're the mini Glencairn, then this must be the maxi Glencairn. So they do beer here as well now. Only a stout on tap anyway, and it's very delicious. I've already had more than one sip. So McHenry started as a whiskey distillery, but they've actually gotten really famous for their gin, and they seem to have more gins than they do whiskies. So maybe they've built on that reputation. And yeah, they've now turned to beer as well. I think they do rums as well. Actually, he said he loves rums. I'm gonna drink this beer now. Lavender House. What did you guys get?
We've come to Port Arthur Lavender on our way back up towards Hobart from the bottom of the peninsula, and we've grabbed some ice cream. I've got a chocolate and lavender ice cream, and I have a white chocolate and lavender ice cream, which is a beautiful colour. So purple. Ooh. Very floral. That's yummy. It's kind of like musk sticks.
Oh yes.
Mine's very chocolate with a little hint of something that's not normal in chocolate. I think get the white chocolate one if you come here so you can actually taste some lavender.
It's a little bit picturesque around these parts.
Yes, we can actually walk amongst the lavender, which it's winter at the moment, so it's a teeny bit dead. But I'm sure in summer it looks very purple and pretty and delicious and right beside the water. Nice view.
Should I try some ice cream? Chocolate and lavender.
Did you taste the lavender in it?
Oh, I did. And it tastes like nothing I've ever had before. It's good. Oh, wow. Actual lavender.
We found some lavender that's actually alive! Yay! Kill it all to make our ice cream. An ugly fella, isn't he? I would not want to meet him in the middle of the night on my escape from the prison.
So back in the 1830s, there was a dog line here to stop any escaping prisoners who wanted to come from the Tasman Peninsula and reach the mainland of Tasmania. There was 18 of these guys, pretty vicious. Eaglehawk Neck is a very skinny natural bottleneck between the Tasman Peninsula and the mainland of Tasmania. It was the only real spot that they could escape by land, but even the ones who wanted to have a little swim, there were dogs on pontoons out there, and they would bark and alert the guards. The guards would then fire upon them, I suppose, with their amazing 1831 weapons.
There's a building up here with an officer's quarters where it's had many purposes through the years, and it's actually, as you walk through, you can see all the various phases of architecture and design and what they've added to the walls and the roof through the years. It's pretty interesting and free, so just pop in there on your way down to the dog line.
Let's go down to the tessellated pavement. Well, this is not like last time.
This is our last stop down here in the Tasman Peninsula, and unfortunately today it's not quite as epic as the last time we were here.
It's still pretty damn good. You can see it from up high.
Yeah, that's true. It is still nice, but we'll find some photos from when we came last time, and the tide was lower and you could see everything walk out on it. It was so good. But
Yeah.
This is the tessellated pavement, which, I mean, from looking at it, you can tell why it's called that. It's just got cool patterns in the pavement, I guess, carved by the water over the years.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're going to continue on from the Tasman Peninsula after this and explore some of the rest of Tasmania. So if you'd like to see those videos, please like this video, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.
See ya.
These two crackheads.
Nothing else does. Nothing else in this whole world looks like the map of Tasmania. Whiskey sealed the deal to come up the 2 kilometre dirt road in the little two-wheeler.
Not again.
Yeah, Whiskey sealed the deal to come up with... Whiskey sealed the deal to come up the tiny... Whiskey sealed the deal. Whiskey sealed the deal. Oh, I love it. I love it so much.
You haven't tried it yet.
Different spine and pillars. The different pillars coming off the different. Yeah. Hey, you lot! Wave to the camera. And rums too. Yeah, don't put this in. I'm gonna drink this beer now. The main thing about these places is that the area, the nature is just amazing.
You show all the dead plants around the lake.
Oh, come on. And then the guards would get their togs on, and from there, went like this. Yeah, I don't think the barking was going to stop them, but the was going to stop them.